Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Eduard. It's a weekend edition kit which copies Soviet fighter aircraft MiG-21bis, and this is an interesting thing because it comes in 1/48 scale, so it's a rather older plastic from Eduard. Still quite good, but it is interesting to see that now it comes as a weekend edition kit, and we have a chance to check closer this kit. It means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review, because that's the final sample. And here you can see comparison with my hand. It's a typical Eduard box with really beautiful box art, I would say. Next, on the side here you can see some safety advices and also address of the manufacturer. Here kit number is 84130. Next, on the side here you can see also the same image as on the box art, and on the opposite side you will find 4 marking options which are included into this kit. And this is a recent change from typical 2 markings which were usually packed in weekend edition, and that's a welcome change, I would say, because it gives you more options to choose from. And of course you can see that there are quite colorful, let's say, offerings, so I'm sure that you'll find something interesting for your build. As for the box, it's a top opening box, and here's what we have inside. I would say it's a quite tight packaging because we have a lot of parts in 1/48 scale release, and I'm going to open them right now and check what is included. So they are separated into 2 spruce, actually 2 plastic bags. And here, by the way, you can see even the clear sprue packed together with gray plastic frames. So we are going to remove all this stuff and check what is included. Okay, so first of all, I would like to show you the clear frame. And it is dedicated to canopy parts and also to the cockpit parts. So here it is. Let's place it in the center. And of course, in 1/48 scale release we have a possibility to open the cockpit, and these parts look really cool, but because we are dealing with weekend edition kit, you do not get any masks included into the set, so you will have to get them as a separate add-on, or maybe to cut them with your own hands. It will depend on your decision, but just make a small note that you are not getting any masks in the box. Next, we start with the first gray plastic sprue. So here you can see 2 parts for the top fuselage section together with the tail fin. They look quite fine, so you will have to combine them together. Unlike it is designed in a smaller scale release, here you will have to combine 2 parts, and it means you will have to be careful in this area, but otherwise it looks pretty decent. Inside we have some guiding elements, so I don't think you'll have any issues with that. Next, we continue with another thing. Just give me a second. So this one is full of various small bits, and I think we should zoom out a bit so that you can see what we are talking about. And again, molding quality is really nice, so I don't have anything to complain about here. And the only thing which might be tricky is installation of all this tiny part, because some of them might require a usage of tweezers. Next, we continue with 2 identical plastic frames. They are dedicated to armament and external equipment. That's why I will show you only one, because there is no need to show the same stuff again and again. So just give me a second, and here it is. Let's bring it here. Okay, we zoom out a bit. So here we have a few tanks, we also have various missiles and rocket launchers, and all this stuff looks pretty decent. Again, it's cool to get it out of the box, you don't have to pay anything extra. So I think some modders will be happy to get some spare parts into their, let's say, box, because you don't have to use anything at once, obviously, so definitely something will stay as a spare parts for your next project in the same scale. Next, we continue with another portion of gray plastic spruce, so just give me a second. Here, for example, we have fuselage halves, And as you remember, fuselage in 1/48 scale release is a bit more complex because here we have to combine a lot of panels together, but still it's doable thing, so I don't think you will have any difficulties. And external features, they look quite nice, so if I zoom in and check what we have here, so you can see recessed panel lines and rivets are present, and I would say it's a really nice level of details in 1/48 scale, so there is nothing to complain about. Maybe it will require some attention in the, let's say, panel fitment, because you have to get a more or less natural looking result, but other than that I can't even imagine what can go wrong. Next we continue with these parts for cockpit and for main wheel wells. So this thing will be used for the cockpit floor, and here we have, for example, rear wall for the cockpit, but we also have parts for the main landing gear wheel well here as well, so it will have to be assembled separately and then inserted in between fuselage halves, so be ready for such design. Next we continue with another plastic sprue. So you might have noticed that we have definitely more sprues than in 1/72 scale release. Here we have mix of various parts. We have landing gear wheels, we have one-piece nose cone, but here you have to install it before the joining process of the fuselage house, so keep it in mind. It's not, again, not like in the 1/72 scale release. And as for the landing gear wheels, you can replace them with a bracing upgrade, what I would rather recommend to do. So be sure to spend a bit more, get yourself resin wheels, and build even better looking model. Next we continue with the last gray plastic sprue. So this one is dedicated to here you can see wing parts, and again they look really nice. I would like to zoom in so that you can see what we have here in terms of external features. So we have recessed panel lines and rivets again. We also have a possibility to copy air brakes in open position, and all wing mechanization is also separate, so that's also a cool thing to get out of the box. Next we continue with the resin parts. Surprise, surprise. This weekend edition also features some resin bits included out of the box. Here you can see them. So they will be useful for one of the camouflages as far as I can guess. But before we talk about it, we can also check decal sheets. So there are two of them and they're quite big. I would say surprisingly big. And also you will have to apply all this stuff. And now you will see what I'm talking about. So let's zoom out a bit. And first of all, I would like to show you the main decals sheet. So you might even hear how I remove the backing paper. Maybe we should close the lenses a bit. So here we have all necessary symbols for 4 marking options, as you remember. And printing quality looks nice because it comes from Eduard, so there is nothing to worry about. And note that we also have some cockpit decals, so if I zoom in, here you can check them closer. That's a welcome addition. We also have the seals for canopy, also another good thing, because it might save you some time and you will not have to resort to any masks, who knows. Again, it is a thing dependent on your decision, but it's really cool that they started including these seals out of the box. Next we continue also with another decals sheet. This one is dedicated to stencils, and that's what I was talking about. So you have to apply all these tiny writings, and that will not be a, let's say, pleasant procedure. We can say it straight, there is no point in hiding it. So be ready to work with all this stuff, and definitely your model will benefit from applying all these writings, so do not be lazy. Next we have an assembly manual. So this one comes in form of large brochure, color printed. I'll close the lenses even more. So we have short history note on the first page. Next is a parts map. And surprisingly, there are not that many parts that will not be used. Frankly speaking, I was expecting more. And assembly process starts with the nose landing gear wheel well. Then we flip it over and assemble the cockpit floor. We also assemble the engine nozzle, and here you can see the main wheel well assembly. That's the part. And next we continue with assembly of cockpit walls. So then you can see this nose cone being installed into the fuselage. We install all the stuff here and there. And next we work on the tail section. Here you can see that we will have to cut off some extra plastic for open air brakes. so it's for brave modelers, let's say. Wing mechanization is separate, as I said before. We also have some minor things to install here and there on the under fuselage. Surfaces, here we also have landing gear parts, pilot seat, and yes, it is assembled after the cockpit is enclosed in the fuselage. So it might be a good opportunity to build an open cockpit. But here you can see also Coleman panel installation, various minor bits get installed here and there. We install the pilot seat, and next we continue with what is this? So we have pylons, we have external equipment, as you can see it's external fuel tanks, missiles and bombs. We have also loadout scheme, we even have these thrusters for assisted takeoff. Here you can see first marking option, it comes from Afghanistan 1980. Quite an interesting marking option, I think it was also on the box art. Here we continue with another one from Finland 1980, one more from Croatia December 2016. And here we have fourth marking option from India, early 90s. So also unusual camouflage and yellow tail, as you can see here. We have stenciling guide on several pages, so it also should give you an idea of how many things should go into this aircraft. And here on the last page we have some resin accessories and brassing accessories, bronze accessories, which will be handy with a MiG-21 kit. So all in all, we get a really attractive thing, and now it comes in a bit more affordable version of a weekend kit. You will be able to buy it on official Eduard website. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such a release here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye!